Today, I set out to answer one of motorsport's biggest questions. Okay, a bit smaller. Keep going. Smaller. How fast can I learn a new track? And not just learn it, but be competitive. And maybe, just maybe even win. If you've seen basically any of my videos, you'll know that I go to Red Lodge and Daytona Milton Keynes a lot. Like a lot. But I don't really race anywhere else. So today we decided to visit Daytona Tamworth for a junior sprint race with absolutely zero experience on the track. If you're unfamiliar with the junior sprint race format, it's a 10-minute qualifying followed by a 20-minute race, meaning that you don't have much time to actually learn the track, making it perfect to practice adaptability and learning on the fly. But enough waffle, let's get into the video. So as we exited the pit lane, I realised that it wasn't just the track I'd have to learn, but the kart as well, as it handled completely differently to any of the other karts that I've driven. After about 5 minutes of learning the track and the kart, and warming up the tyres and brakes, I got onto a fast lap. So here we go then for a lap of Daytona Tamworth. Very tight last corner, makes it difficult to get a good run onto our flying lap. We had tried to do so. So first corner is this lovely flowing right-hander downhill into the fastest part of the track here. Lovely flowing chicane section. Full throttle the whole way down. Then this right hand corner that you take completely flat on the throttle is very, very satisfying when you get it right. This hairpin here, you can do a small dab of brake, but at this point I was basically full throttle around the whole thing. Through here, once again, full throttle completely just to get the revs higher and get a good run out there. Then down into this hairpin here, small dab of brake, then back on the throttle to get you all the way out of the corner, and then it's full throttle from here all the way back to the last corner. As you go round this hairpin here, you have to brave it on the throttle, bit of oversteer, but we're going to keep it under control. Then into the next corner, can we keep it full throttle? We can. Hairpin after that, small dab of brake just to get the car rotated, then into the next corner, completely flat until all the way round till the last corner. Hard on the brakes for about half a second, get the car rotated, get on the throttle as soon as possible, and actually quite a good run out of that corner. So despite it being the first time I ever came to the track, that lap was enough to land us P2. So as I was starting on the outside line, I knew I had to pull something off on the start to get in front. But I was confident in my ability. However, no amount of confidence would help my car accelerate faster. As of the start, it just seemed like his car accelerated faster, despite having basically identical reaction times. And him being just half a metre ahead on the start meant that he was almost 5 kart lengths ahead by the time we reached turn 3. However, luckily I didn't lose any places to the karts behind, meaning that despite being on the back foot for the rest of the race, I wasn't having to fight my way through the field. However, it only took me 3 corners to catch up to him, and from here I was right on his tail for the next 5 minutes. And after 2 laps of learning his lines and trying to copy them as much as possible, getting me right behind him, I was close enough to go for a move. But since I wasn't confident on my brakes, given that they still haven't warmed up after 15 minutes of driving, I knew I just had to get a better run out of the last corner. So get a better run I did. However, he knew exactly where to position his kart on the main straight. That meant I had to make a big steering input to turn to the inside of the corner, compromising my momentum, and not only meaning that I couldn't get through, but actually giving him a better run down the crucial main straight. While this is slightly annoying, it would have been completely fine, as I would have just caught up 2 corners later and been able to try at a different part of the track. However, the events that unfolded basically compromised my entire fight for the win. As you can see, coming into the next corner, he locks his brakes, going out wide, and even though I was full brake the entire time, I had absolutely no brakes. And as I had absolutely no brakes, I was a complete passenger and had to go all the way to the outside of the circuit, as I didn't have enough grip to go to the inside. This meant that I lost a lot of time, and despite getting quite close to him by the end, it just wasn't enough. The race was just too short and I wasn't able to overtake. But P2 is a solid result, especially if it's the first time at the track and in these karts. And also something I forgot to mention, that while catching up, I managed to get the fastest lap, which is quite a feat at a track that I've never been to before. And having talked to him afterwards, I'd learnt that he'd been coming here quite often. So despite being annoyed that I wasn't able to achieve the top step of the podium, it was still in hindsight quite a good performance. Also a quick note for the end, as some of my reels are really starting to take off on Instagram, please do let me know what kind of content you prefer, as I'm really open to lots of different styles at the moment. Thanks for watching.